Grammar in context. Connecting sentences with awubis words. So, I bet the first thing you are thinking is, what the heck is an awubis? Just like there is an acronym for the coordinating conjunctions fanboys, there is an acronym, though it is longer and more unusual to say, for the subordinating conjunctions. Unlike the coordinating conjunctions where there are only 7, there are lots of subordinating conjunctions. The acronym awubis helps us to remember the most commonly used ones. So before I tell you what each letter stands for, I want to read a few sentences to see how they work. Now, I'm only going to look at the first half of this sentence leading up to the dash, because really, we can only learn so much punctuation at one time. But I want you to see how these subordinating conjunctions are used in real writing, real sentences. This is a sentence from Malcolm X's Literacy Behind Bars. If I weren't out here every day battling the white man, comma, I could spend the rest of my life reading, comma, just satisfying my curiosity, dash, because you can hardly mention anything I'm not curious about. Now take a look at this sentence. What do you notice? Where does he have punctuation? Why does he start the sentence the way he does? Pause the video and give yourself some time to think. Now I'm just going to read the part we are going to look at and make it a complete sentence on its own. What do you notice? How many commas are there? How is he using commas? Is it as part of a series? There are 2 commas, but they don't seem to be listing things. Is it to connect 2 complete sentences with fanboys? I don't see for, and, not, but, or, yet, or so. He must be using commas in a different way. I have highlighted the word if and the comma in the middle of the sentence to highlight his use of a subordinating conjunction, and if is one of our awubis words. We could actually put a period after reading and stop the sentence there. It would be complete, but Malcolm goes on, adding extra information. We have simplified the sentence down now to the barest parts for it to make sense. Have you guessed why we need the comma? Now it is finally time to reveal what awubis stands for. An awubis also combines sentences, but an awubis combines a dependent clause with an independent clause, or a complete sentence. More on that in a moment. First, let's learn what the words are. After, although, as, when, where, wherever, until, unless, because, before, if, and since. Awubis. Fun to say, right? Let's get back to our sentence to see why awubis words combine dependent clauses and complete sentences. Is the first part of the sentence complete by itself? If I weren't out here every day battling the white man, what happens? The sentence is incomplete. More is needed in order for the sentence to make logical sense. That is what makes this a dependent clause. It is dependent on another part of the sentence to make sense. The technical term for an awubis word is subordinating conjunction, in contrast to the technical term for fanboys, which is a coordinating conjunction. You don't technically need to know these terms, but I think knowing them will help you remember which acronym combines which kind of clause. So for our complete sentence, our independent clause, I have King of Pride Rock, Mufasa. Fanboys connect 2 equal clauses, 2 complete sentences, or to put it into visual terms, 2 kings. Subordinating conjunctions, on the other hand, connect 2 unequals. Zazu from The Lion King is a subordinate of King Mufasa. A subordinate is someone of lower rank, just like in a monarchy where everyone else ranks lower than a king. So the subordinating conjunction, the awubis word, connects Zazu, the dependent clause, with the king, the independent clause. Pause the video and write your own sentence combining a dependent and independent clause using an awubis word. Here's the sentence I wrote. Although she didn't want to write a sentence for practice, she found that it brought her much joy. But now, watch this. What do you notice? What did I change? Pause the video if you need time to look. So, I changed a couple of things. The big one is that I changed the subordinating conjunction to the phrase even though. You might notice that E doesn't show up anywhere in our AWUBIS acronym. That is because there are more subordinating conjunctions than we could fit into one mnemonic device. AWUBIS is just the most common ones. Also, changing the subordinating conjunction here made the sentence make more sense when I decided to rearrange it. The other takeaway point is that when you have an AWUBIS word in the middle of your sentence, you don't need a comma. An AWUBIS can carry each part of the sentence, one on each arm, so to speak, without the help of a comma. Let's look at one more sentence to see how this works. She decided she was ready to go swimming after her little brother jumped in the pool. Notice the subordinating conjunction, the AWUBIS word, is in the middle of the sentence and no punctuation is required. If we change it and move the AWUBIS word back to the beginning, we will need a comma to separate the independent clause, the complete sentence, from the dependent clause, the incomplete sentence. Now it's your turn again. Try making a sentence with the AWUBIS word in the middle and then switching it back to the beginning again.